What the fuck, Antoine? Get off me.
I'm just trying to look out for you.
If you really cared for me, all this energy would be aimed at the other guy and not me.
Fuck him. You are my priority. Do you really want to have a fist fight in these nice white folks crowded bar on a Sunday? We are already here on their designated Negro Day, and I hate to see you embarrass yourself for the entertainment of all those judgmental gays while they enjoy their high-priced drinks.
Did you not see what he did? That nigga threw a drink on me. I did not do anything to him. Then when I tried to do the Christianly thing and remove myself from the situation, he threatened to fuck me up. I only have so much nonviolent resistance left in me.
You're not a basketball wife. A thrown drink does not mean you are contractually obligated to pop off. Yes, what he did was disrespectful. He's clearly drunk and he doesn't even know you. Even if you did beat his ass, he probably wouldn't even remember it in the morning. You don't have to do anything to prove that you are a man in this moment.
It's not about proving anything to anybody else. I don't have to save face in front of those damn queens. It's about standing up for myself. My whole life, nobody has stood up for me. Not my ancient parents, not my brothers, not the system, not even the men I've dated. I've always had to stand up and protect me because nobody else will.
Yes, advocate for yourself, but his empty threats do not require a response. You seem to be searching for fairness, but life isn't fair. Don't burden yourself with being the one to correct every minor inequality. In the world we live in, you can't be that person.
Oh, because I'm a black man, I can't defend myself. Come on, don't give me that we have to work twice as hard to get twice as far speech. Shonda, you can save that for another episode of Scandal. That I'm just fighting for my own peace in a country where people take offense to my own existence.
Fighting for peace just sounds a little redundant, don't you think? I'm just saying, be smart. Think beyond this moment. Anger is blunt and can be addictive if you aren't careful.
My mama taught me that if somebody puts their hands on you, you put hands right back.
And how many black mothers have told little black boys that same message who end up dead or in the prison system?
Man, I am so sick of this shit. I go to work to take shit from white folks who know less than me but make way more than me. I take shit from professional black folks who use respectability politics to one-up me. Then I come to one of those black gay functions to relax and find community, a space where I can finally lay this armor down, but the whole time I don't feel like I'm attractive enough, make enough, or am just not enough. After swallowing all that shit, I don't have the tolerance to turn the other cheek to some nigga who decides to baptize me in vodka and cranberry.
Get that you were in a bad headspace. Just trying to make it and looking for some relief. Maybe this spot wasn't it. A crowded rooftop bar full of lust, resentment, and heat is never a good combination. I know we've only been hanging out for a short time since you moved here, but you are a good guy with a great heart. Don't let them change the narrative about you. You've been there for me when the folks I've known my entire life were absent. So I'm going to do the same for you, even if you are pissed at me right now. If you're still mad and looking for an enemy, you can have it out with me.
Come on, man. I ain't trying to fight you. Look, you are my friend, almost like a brother.
Well, so is that dude back in that bar. I know you don't know him, but he's clearly dealing with some of the same stresses you described in your life. And he's self-medicating with that bottle and views you as this reflection of himself. A lightning rod he can direct all his rage towards. Just like you have never had anyone to stand up for you, you can take that moment to stand up for him. Offer that brother the leniency the rest of the world won't. See past his pain to his humanity.
Okay, you went a little deep, but you might have gotten me there. What would the great black gay ancestors say to see me sitting up fighting another black gay man?
James Baldwin, Langston Hughes,
Wyatt Rustin, Luther Vandross,
Tyler Perry.
You are wrong for that. So how did you get so calm when handling conflicts?
Whoever said I was all that? My daddy and my grandfather were incarcerated for violent crimes before they reached 25. I inherited generations of anger that leaves me in a constant state of subdued rage, leaving me feeling like I'm on borrowed time until the day I ultimately snap.
Come on. I don't see you doing all that.
I grew up on Minnesota Avenue. I know what it's like to have to fight to survive. I grew up fighting to keep niggas off of me, then went to college, then fought to secure a career. Now I fight every day to live in expensive ass gentrified DC. Sometimes I think all I know how to do is fight. Who am I when I am not fighting? I had to question, what was I fighting for?
Well, you must have figured it out.
I used to get into subscribes at the clubs in the metro, and hell, even I lost a job because of it. Then I got into this toxic relationship with this beautiful man. Let me tell you something. Men with the most beautiful eyes would tell you the most beautiful lies. Oh, I found myself fist fighting every man I caught him with until I eventually caught a case.
What? You?
Yeah. One of his side niggas pressed charges. I spent a day in jail and a year on probation. Once they get you in the system, the goal is to keep you there. Missing paperwork, unprepared public defenders, and I wasn't able to stay in my apartment with a violent offense on my regret. So many obstacles were set in my way to get me to break, but I didn't. I jumped through all their hoops to get that shit expunged. I practiced yoga, art, advocacy, and meditation. Just anything I can do to keep my anger constructive and not let it turn to hate.
I had no idea that prim and proper Antoine was on papers. Who knew? I guess folks will surprise you, but it actually makes me respect your bougie ass more now.
Yeah, because you like that ratchet shit.
A little bit.
When I seen you back there, about to blow up, all I could think about were the tears rolling down your face. I haven't seen somebody so angry that they cry in a while. Folks believe that's a sign of weakness, but I know better.
I actually can't tell you where those even came from. I'm typically not a crier.
It reminded me of my friend, Vic, from grade school. He was a crime fighter. Now, Vic was this little skinny, feminine dude, always reading them Harry Potter books, but never bothered anybody and quiet. Our class bully was this local dope boy named Dwight. Nobody fucked with Dwight because he was slinging even at our age. Dwight starts messing with Lil Vic just for a laugh. Nobody spoke up for him. Not even me.
Not even you?
I hadn't developed my voice yet. Vic and I were cool, but everybody already thought he was gay. I was still figuring myself out, and I didn't want people looking at me the way they looked at him.
That's crazy to me because you are one of the most rainbow flag waving, black gay power screaming folks I have ever met. So to hear that you left your boy hanging.
Luckily, Vic didn't need me because he started crying. See, what nobody knew was that Vic's mama had recently died, leaving him alone with a daddy that beat him and an uncle that molested him. Vic was crying because he was scared of himself. All of that pain he was harboring was pouring out of his body, and he simply released all that emotion.
So whatever happened to Vic?
I don't know. We never talked much after that. I honestly don't think he looked at me the same. Hell, I didn't look at myself the same. All that fighting me, yet I punked out when it really mattered. So on days like today, I make sure I have my people's back.
Thank you for this little scared straight moment. I appreciate you looking out for me and understanding what I'm coming from, what I am doing, and where I'm coming from. Like, it helps to know that somebody sees me trying and is rooting for me.
Anytime. Hey, just don't start crying though. I think you might start to snap and start swinging on me.
Hi, I'm Darius. It's nice to meet you as well. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me. I really think I need this. What brings me here today? That's a good question. I guess I have a lot to process. I'm always in my head about everything. And I hate surprises. They usually catch you off guard, and in my experience, that's never a good thing. Tell you about my childhood? When I was about 5 years old, I was really into He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I was a short, wiry little kid, so I would watch that every day and think to myself, one day I'm going to be big and strong like him one day. And I loved She-Ra too. I was more in awe of her than I was of him. That should have been a sign, I guess. Anyway, after He-Man would go off, I had to watch She-Ra, Princess of Power. After all, she was the long-lost sister of Prince Adam, He-Man. My father was out of work, so I was always home with him after school, since my mom was a school teacher and usually got home later. He was a pretty rough dude. He'd always get on me about not being so soft and acting like a sissy. One day I was sprawled out in front of the television doing my homework and watching She-Ra. He turned off the TV and started yelling at me about why I was watching that girly shit. I tried to explain that She-Ra was about to join forces with He-Man to defeat... when he smacked the shit out of me and told me to stop with all the hand gestures and to stop talking so goddamn much. He sent me to my room to finish my homework till my mom got home. And I was so mad. I kept thinking to myself, one day I'm going to be big and strong enough to fight him if he ever put his hands on me again. Not long after that, my birthday was coming up and all I wanted was a cake and a big party. Now I knew better than to tell him what kind of cake I wanted, so I told my mom. She knew how much I loved He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, so she would make it happen. Well, on the day of my party, which was a surprise because it happened the Saturday before my birthday, which fell in the middle of the week that year. All my friends were there and I was so excited, mainly about my He-Man and She-Ra cake. But when it was time to sing happy birthday, out comes this fucking camouflage G.I. Joe army cake with puke green and black candles. Now I knew that it was my father's doing and I was furious. My friends loved the cake and my party, but all I could think was, I hate him and I hate surprises. He ruined the one thing that mattered to me the most. What? Is it safe to say I have daddy issues? No. I was never that close to him anyway. When my mother got pregnant with my sister and I had to take extra responsibility at 10 years old, it fucked my whole world up at first. Me and mommy had a way we did things. You know, we had a routine. But once she had my sister, all of that went out the window. Fortunately, by then, the mean one was back to working regularly, so he was hardly ever around. Which is also why I didn't miss him when he finally left for good. Right after my sister was born. But that meant I had to take on extra responsibility to help my mama with the new baby, who I hated at first. I was so angry at her for messing everything up. But that quickly changed as I started watching her a lot more. Me, my aunt, and my grandma, we developed a new routine. And after a while, I had this adorable little ray of sunshine who looked up to me like I was a god or a masters of the universe at age 11. Huh? Yeah. I guess that was a pretty eventful childhood. Abuse from my sperm donor excluded. I always said I'd never grow up to be like him. He was always so mean. And my mother was the sweetest woman in the world, so why he would want to put his hands on her or me, I'll never understand. I'm just glad Davina didn't have to grow up with this bullshit. I looked out for her and made sure she had everything that she needed. You know, that's what big brothers do, you know? The last relationship I was in just ended about 3 months ago, and it was all my fault. Everything I said I'd never do, I did. I was cold. I was distant, and I even hit him one time in the heat of an argument. I love this guy in a way I've never loved anyone before. Nobody has ever accepted me with all my bullshit like him. And I know I hurt him badly, and I know he still loves me, and I got to do something to show him that I can change and be the man that he fell in love with when he met me 4 years ago. I'm almost 36 years old. The same age my dad was when he left us for good. I don't want to end up a miserable, lonely old man like him. I can't. I won't. I need help. I'm scared. So that's why I'm here. Therapy didn't work the first time. I went years ago because I was an angry, confused teenager, and I had way too much to figure out. I wasn't ready. But I'm ready now. So, can you help me?
So that's what we're doing? Stuffing our face with sweet potato pie and bumping Patti LaBelle like it's the 70s.
Well, hello to you too, Sean.
With the pecan crumble. Just like her mama did hers. I knew this was a setup.
A setup. Damn, can the brothers break bread?
I don't recall the last time I sipped a glass of water with you.
And whose fault is that?
Not mine.
Oh, really? You're the one off your hot boy summer shit that can't call his own brother?
When you all been a Virgo on self-care retreats and fixing the problems you created in your mind?
I communicate when I'm having my moments of introspection. You fall off the planet.
Well, I'm communicating now. I really don't want to be bothered.
So you can be up in the house depressed? No, I won't allow it.
Maybe that's how I want it to be.
Nobody wants to be depressed. Look, it's okay to feel your emotions, but it's best to let them come and go. You allow them to consume you and stay present in a dark space.
Here we go again.
Look, what's buried beneath the surface will come to the light.
Look, Dr. Phil, I came here to eat and not have a psych evaluation done.
Well, speaking of psych, have you considered seeing a therapist since the last time we spoke about it?
No, I told you I'm not crazy.
Seeking professional help to cope through life's traumatic shit doesn't make you crazy. I mean, I can tell you that having that extra layer of support has worked miracles for me.
I am genuinely happy for you. But the last thing I want to do is pay somebody to talk about my problems.
What's wrong with that? You're a working man now with health benefits. I'm sure it's covered under your insurance plan.
Yes, I work a full-time job, but as a contractor. They don't offer us insurance. Paying that shit out of pocket is a no-go.
Well, okay, then we can look for programs together to help you pay for it.
I'm good.
What is the problem with speaking to somebody? You don't talk to me, and even all your friends, they admit that they can't get anything out of you except spark up. Look, I'm concerned.
You entice me with food and brotherhood, only to weep and wail over the death of mama. Then want to talk about mental wellness.
Come on, Sean. Look, I prepared some of her favorite foods, and this is my way of remembering her.
Remembering her only reminds me that she's gone.
I wish you would stop saying that.
It's true.
No, it's not. She lives through you, through me, through both of us together. The spirit of that woman is within our DNA, flowing through our veins at this very moment.
It's not the same.
Of course, it's not the same, but what else do we have left?
I don't know.
Well, damn, you don't?
No, I'm sorry. It's not like that. You say she lives on in our hearts, but it feels like my heart stopped beating the moment hers did. I've been walking around here in this lifeless body like I'm the walking dead. And in that experience, I just felt so empty.
I know that feeling all too well. This perspective has helped me manage that feeling of internal emptiness. I mean, children will outlive their parents in an ideal world. I mean, the pain we experience will never fade, so somehow we learn to live with it. The solace would find us from knowing that they're watching us from the heavens and the stars.
You would think after 12 years, I would have learned that by now. But I don't know how to live with grief or how to feel anymore. But you gotta stop telling me how to feel and allow me to define those emotions for myself. We may have lost our mother, but we grieve differently.
You're absolutely right. And I'm sorry. I can't tell you how to feel. I did selfishly drag you along this trip, but never asked did you have the capacity to travel.
Wait, did you just apologize?
Don't try it.
I'm just saying, this has to be a first. But okay, I'll accept it. So, you really worry about me.
Mama would want me to make sure that you're okay. And I can't do that if you keep shutting me out.
Sometimes I don't know if I'm going to make it. I wish I could trade places with her. I miss being able to sit in her bed and talk about my troubles. She was an amazing listener and knew exactly what to say to make it all better.
Do you know Mom would be heartbroken if something happened to you? You are where God intended you to be. And I'm here now. And I can be that support for you. Whatever you need. I just need to know when and how.
I wish I could tell you. I really do. I don't know how.
Look, not a day goes by that I don't miss her. Our relatives ain't shit, but they probably doing the best they can to navigate their own traumas. Who am I to judge? Besides my chosen family, you're all I have left.
Fuck family.
Oh, come on, Sean.
No, this is supposed to be blood relatives that vowed their support to us after losing the only parent we got. What happened to everyday phone calls? What happened to being in family again? Mama didn't even make it to my high school graduation. Why wasn't one of the biggest moments in my life a priority to her siblings when they knew that she could not be there? Not even a phone call to say, hey, nephew, I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but congratulations, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I was disappointed they didn't show you the support you needed on that day. Hey, some of our family members did show up, and even your best friend came. But people get wrapped up in their own lives, and maybe they were grieving their sister's passing too. But the entire world can turn their back on you. But I will always be right there, right by your side.
I hear you. And I really appreciate that.
Look, with Ma's birthday passing and all the Mother's Day posts on Facebook, it hit me hard this year too. But the purpose of today was to reconnect and to let you know that I need your support too.
By support, you mean talking about when Mom was alive and eating and drinking over her favorite music?
Look, I can't keep these memories of her bottled up as if she never existed. So yes, can we please just stop and take a moment to reminisce? And if you don't have the mental capacity, we can change topics, I promise. Remember, we're here to support each other. But might do us some good just to take a trip down memory lane.
Okay. But I'm gonna need a drink or two for this conversation.
Please, help yourself. But you know, whenever I'm indulging in a cocktail with you, I think of that time when Mom found that empty bottle of liquor in your closet.
She told the whole family.
She called me up from school and cussed me out. Can you believe that goddamn Sean had an empty bottle of Grey Goose in his closet? I still owe you an ass whooping for not discarding the evidence.
I couldn't figure out the best time to trash it. You know that women do not miss a beat.
I'm still trying to figure out how I always got blamed for your mess.
Like when she found out I was gay too. God, what did I do to deserve not one, but two gay sons?
Right, and swore it was my fault for taking you down to DuPont Circle, although I was forced to take you with me. And How am I knew that the gays hung out in DuPont Circle? It's beyond me.
Now, you know her and her co-worker, Mr. Price, was good Juries. But nothing was worse than the first time you came home drunk. Your dumb ass stayed out to 3 o'clock in the morning and then came home with a pizza.
Before I could get the key in the lock, she snatched that door open so quick and let me have it. Tried to conceal my drunken eyes with my baseball cap, but she knew. I guess that saying is true. Mamas always know.
She stayed up the entire night waiting for you and was worried sick. I think that night was the first time I really observed a mother's love. There's nothing like it.
Yeah. That's so real. Talking about that moment, I can feel her love right now.
Surprisingly, me too. Wow. This wasn't as bad as I thought. Thank you for this, Ronnie.
No, thank you. I appreciate you for being willing to share this with me. Look, I love you. You're my blood. You're my brother. You are my friend. Look, we can get through this together.
I boarded a train, kissed all goodbye, and in my heart was a sympathetic sigh. For I would go and live in a city where people and hearts and buildings were bigger, while they remained to work and toil in a town whose thriving was of soil. For long it worked. I knew no distress. I even dared to write them less. What need had I for old folk degenerate, whose living and thinking were way out of date? Then, one quiet day I found all of me confusion bound, with problems as high as Jack's beanstalk, and no one with whom to talk. My dilemma was all my own. No counseling dad, no kindness shown. And for once I knew my real and true status. Cockroach in the park theater. And now my heart knows no delight like a trip back to the old home site. And not for money would I scoff at a screen door hanging off. So they got no big tall skyscrapers. Clowns in nightclubs, cutting capers. It's home. The folk are warm. And most important, I belong. I belong.